Hey, what's going on? Today, we're going to take a slightly different angle. We're going to talk about what can be labeled as an extreme view on friendships, family, and fitness goals. Many times people have the internal drive to want to create a change. They want to build muscle. They want to lose body fat. They want to improve their health. They want to improve themselves. But where they receive the most pushback is from the people who are the ones who should be providing the most support directly for them, their friends, their family, their significant others. And so when this happens to be the case, many people then end up self-sabotaging, or they receive so much pushback from the people who should care about them most that they no longer push forward in a way that's going to be in their personal best interests. And this is very difficult because naturally we are tribal creatures. We want to be around people who love and support us. And when we get pushback, when we get negative feedback, when we get into a place where there's a disconnect between somebody who means a lot to you, it's an incredibly difficult situation to continue doing the things that could be creating somewhat of a disconnect. But what we have to consider is that really the case? You see, what we have to think about when it comes to people individually is when people are giving you shit, when they are creating friction, when they are saying, oh, you changed. Oh, how come you don't do X, Y, and Z the way that you used to? It's because they are not growing at the same rate that you are. And when your interests change, when your actions change, people naturally believe that they're going to be left behind. They feel scared. When it comes to men specifically, men are often in the status game. So what you'll see is when one guy is working hard to maybe change his health, maybe he's not going out on Friday, Saturday, Sunday and drinking. Maybe he's not spending as much time watching games, eating wings, doing these things that he was previously with his boys. Then he starts to get pushback. It's getting a little bit of shit here and there, right? Or it could be somebody's working out and now they're getting pushback directly from their spouse. Oh, you're fine just the way that you are. Oh, how come we're not having this bottle of wine like we used to every single Thursday night? And so what happens is people start to view the changes that you are making directly as something that's going to lead to the loss of a friend. They see it as somebody who's looking to potentially elevate their individual status to the point where then they feel lower status. Getting back to the point I made about men previously, men are often in a status game, right? That's why you see a lot of guys will spend money on cars, flashy clothes, whatever it is. And when they start to see somebody who's of higher perceived status, what do? They talk trash. They look to bring them down a little bit, right? That's why I see so many haters who are out there right now. Right, wrong, or indifferent, that's just kind of the way of things. It's the way that people operate, right? And so we have to have an understanding that when you are naturally looking to push yourself, you're looking to achieve more, you're looking to reach your potential, you're looking to reach the expectations that you internally have set for yourself, you're going to feel pushback from people, and maybe not even the people that you most expect. I'll put something up on social media, and on one hand, I'll have somebody saying, oh man, this guy's tiny, right? Like, let's tear him down. And then I'll have the same post in somebody saying, man, this guy's on steroids, like, what a user, whatever it is, right? And so we have to understand that, like, the more that you push yourself to go outside your comfort zone, you're going to get pushback. You're going to get pushback directly from the people who are close to you. You're going to get pushback from people who aren't close to you if it's going out on something like social media. And so what we need to think about, beyond the fact that people are so concerned about status that they will often bring you down, is people do not naturally want what's best for you. Many times people say they do, but the reality is they want the version of you that is best for them. And I see this a lot of times when I have a man or woman who's looking to get into incredible shape and they're getting pushed back directly from their partner. It's sad to see, but I see it a lot with women who are pushing because they want to feel better in their skin. They put everybody else in their life first all of the time. And now they want to be able to put their health as a priority because they want to feel better in their own skin. They want to have more energy. They want to fulfill their potential. They have big goals and aspirations as well. Man, woman, it doesn't matter. I see this across the board, but I see it a little bit more with women. And so what happens then is the spouse will start to question, what are they doing? They start to get fearful. Oh, are they trying to lead me? They're trying to lose weight. They're trying to look great naked, right? And so when we start to see these habits and these behaviors, the important thing to realize if you're in the transformational process is that people do not want what's best for you. They want what is the best version of you that's going to support them. And it doesn't mean that it stays this way forever, But naturally, there is a fear that other people are going to have around the changes that you're making, that they are being left behind. And so when you're starting to feel this pressure, when you're starting to feel those passive aggressive comments, or maybe these aggressive forms of self-sabotage that often kick in, it's understanding this from the baseline and being clear in what your expectations are for yourself, why it's important for you, and also communicating that with other people, right? Because there's a different version of what is going to be best for you through your eyes versus what somebody else is. And what we have to understand is, if we want to be able to show up as that best version of ourselves, it comes down to making and keeping the promises that we have for ourselves. Because if we're living by the expectations of somebody else, we're really never going to be satisfied with the results that we do get. And so when we're clear on what we want, when we clearly communicate what we're focused on and why, it doesn't become a matter of asking permission to go forth and push hard towards your goals. It becomes a point of asking for support. So if you have pushback from somebody who's constantly giving you shit about being healthier, about exercising more, about not drinking, not eating the same way they were previously, the thing that I would say is, hey, listen, I'm working on improving myself, and I would really appreciate your support on this. Can I count on that? And in many cases, you know what happens? That person is pushed back because they don't always overtly know that they are creating friction, that their actions are creating habits and beliefs that are building resentment in that friendship, in that relationship. And when you do that, it sets the expectation that you are your own individual person and you are going to push towards the things that are best for you. And it doesn't mean that a friendship is dead, a relationship is dead, or any of these things are forever changed. It doesn't mean that you can never enjoy some of the same things that you did previously, but it does mean that when you're going through this process and making changes, that there are going to be growing pains. Just like any change of a athlete onto a new team, just like joining a new team at work, there's a growing experience. There's new communication. There are new things that have to be grown, and there are new aspects that will be developed over time. Understanding that when it comes to achieving new goals, when it comes to setting new goals, when it comes to pushing harder for the things that you want to achieve is absolutely crucial to your success. If you want to think about this another way, friendships are things that go through different seasons. I think if you step back and you reflect back to who some of your friends were 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, are they all the same people? Or have you grown and have you developed and have your interests changed? The friends that you have kept, do you do the same exact things that you did then? I mean, I've got a couple great friends from growing up as a kid. I mean, hey, we're not sneaking alcohol anymore. We're not playing video games as being little shitheads. Like, no, we're grown ass adults. We've got a lot of different responsibilities. And like when we hang out, we hang out, but like other aspects of our life have changed and the relationships have matured. And so we have to understand is that sometimes we're going to go through these growing pains, that people are not always looking for our best interests. They are looking for how your relationship can continue and what version of you is going to be of best interest for them in that relationship. And we need to work on communicating what our needs actually are and being clear that these are the goals that we have for ourselves and these are non-negotiable things that you are working on improving on. Because without that clear-cut communication, and if people don't know why you're working to change, and suddenly the way that you're acting is so much different and the way that you interact is different, there are going to be a lot of questions. And that can create a lot of friction that prevent you from really living up to the expectations that you have for yourself. And so when we don't live up to those expectations that we do set for ourselves, that is what builds a lack of self-belief. That's when self-sabotage kicks in. And that's when we stop acting congruently with the person that we want to be most, right? So listen, you're going to go through some bumps in the road. That is completely okay. And sometimes we have to understand that the relationships and the friendships that we do have right now are going to have to change if we are going to be the person that we most want to be. And that's okay. Because if you think about it, how many people at 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, like how many close friends do they actually have? And if we reflect back on what our goals are right now, how many of the close friends we have right now are we going to have later on, right? It doesn't mean that we should try to cut out friends, cut people out of our lives directly if they're not 100% congruent with the things that we want to do. I mean, maybe you want to take that extreme approach, but you should not negotiate on the things that mean most to you and that mean the most to the purpose that you are looking to fulfill on this earth. And along the way, your relationships will change. you'll lose some friendships. You'll build new ones. But you know what? We cannot step forward. We cannot step into a new way of being. We cannot step into the 2.0 version of ourselves by keeping both of our feet planted in the past. If we want to walk forward, we got to pick up that back foot too. It's not just about taking that first step. Those are my views when it comes to friendship, family, fitness, and the goals that you do have, right? We have to be able to understand that there's going to be friction, but it comes down to our clear-cut communication, knowing what matters to us, knowing why it matters, and then taking the right actions that we need going forward. Now, if you found value directly in this episode, we do not do external marketing for this. We are not doing paid promotions. I am not filling up your airways with a ton of advertisements for supplements and all that other stuff that I know you just hit forward on whenever you're listening to another podcast, because I want this to be purely value driven. So if you are finding value directly from this, please do me a favor, drop me a 5-star review and leave a comment on your favorite podcasting platform. That's how we know what we're doing is making an impact. And of course, sharing it with those that you do love. All right, and so with that said, this is Eric Bach signing off of the Look Great Naked podcast. Remember, success comes down to the ruthless execution of the basics, and fitness is a force multiplier. When you dial in your health, you can improve every other aspect of your life. I'll catch you on the next one.
Hey, it's Eric here again. Now, there are 3 ways that I can help you look great naked. Number 1, if you want to grab a free copy of the Look Great Naked protocol to help you lose body fat without counting calories, then go to bachperformance.com/free training. Number 2, if you're a busy guy looking to build muscle, then I recommend checking out our Minimalist Muscle Blitz, which has helped over 1,000 men build muscle without living in the gym. Just go to minimalistmuscleblitz.com. The link will also be available in the show notes. Or number 3 and last, if you want to work with me directly and get the best results possible, apply at bachperformance.com/coaching to look great naked without living in the gym. Until next time, my friend,